Warning: this clip may contain greatly offensive content. Do not watch if you have a heart condition or are under 18. I'm not kidding, you will die. Hello boys and welcome to SPC BroFive production and next part of Corruption of the Champions. Corruption of Champions. It is. Start recording right here. I messed up a lot with my internet since last time. So well, I lost the save file for my character, but I managed to find it again. Apparently I just changed the standard internet. Wait a second or two, maybe 3 even. You can shut up and let me be. My cat is not considerate of things. Right. But I haven't leveled up, but I got more gems. So let's go to Talandre. And we're gonna buy a sword. Oh, weapons. Katana, was it? Oh, it cost 500. I thought it cost 300. Can I buy something else? Well, I probably can, but I won't. I want to save for the katana. Well, let's explore, see if we can find something else in the open area. You spot a door standing in the middle of nowhere again. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything from her. Oh, I discovered a swamp. All things considered, you decided you wouldn't mind changing the scenery. Gathering up your belongings, you begin to journey into the wasteland. The journey begins in a high spirit, and you whistle at the little traveling tune and pass the time. After an hour of warning, however, you wanderlust begins to white away. Another half hour ticks by, fed up with the fruitless exploration. You're nearly about to head back to camp when a faint light flames across your vision. Startled, you whirl about and take 3 luminous will-o'-the-wisps swirling around each other. A will-o'-wisp. They are not good to follow, as far as I know. Each other. As you watch, the 3 ghostly lights begins to move off, and though the thought of trap crosses your mind, you decide to follow. Before long, you start to detect traces changing in the environment. The most imminent differences in the increased sweltering heat. A few minutes pass, then the will-o'-the-wisp plunge into the boundaries of the dark, murky stench swamp. After the steadying breath, you follow them into the bog. Once within, however, the usual balls float off in a different direction, causing you to lose track of them. You decide to retrace your steps. Satisfied with your discovery, further exploration can be and wait for now. Your camp is away, waiting. So I discovered a swamp now. This. Seriously, one hair of those going across your nose is really irritating. So I found a swamp. I have 300 gems and nothing to do with them. Let's explore deep woods. As you're walking through the forest, the twin sun snaps overhead. You quickly look up towards the source of the noise, only to be met by a pair of glowing emerald eyes. Hidden in the single jagged paw emerges from the darkness. The graceful killer stalks across the branch of its tree and soon fully exposed to you, battered by the sunlight filtering through the trees overhead. The creature holds you within its gaze and far too intelligent to belong to a mere wild animal. Shores of their spinning voice tickles your ear, but too quietly for you to make out what being said. The yoga blinks, releasing you from your trance, and the creature finally jumps down to the ground. It wides its stance and unleashes a roar so loud that it seems to be coming from every direction at once, drowning everything but the sound of your own heartbeat hammering away. It continues to confidence of your chest. The creature circles you once before you hear a deep male voice rise among the shores of the whisper. I am Akbal, god of the terrestrial fire. You are trespassing on sacred ground. Submit or die. The aurora pouring from this Akbal is anything but godlike. You recognize the demon from what it truly is. Yet its ivory teeth and sharp claws prove to you that it can make it a good threat. What do? Talk. After a few moments of silence, you ask, what do you mean by submit? Akbar grins, revealing a row of wicked ivory teeth as he opens his mouth. You suddenly feel the demon's powerful body pinning you down. A wide tongue licking your neck and claws tickling your back in a way that is both horrifying and sensual. Yet after a moment of taking it in, you realize that he is still there in front of you, unmoved and grinning. You can guess that the magic means he wants you to become his mate for the day, making up invading terror. What do? I don't submit. You ready your beautiful sword and prepare to battle the demon Jaguar. Oh, he's in level 6. Well, let's try to kill him with magic then. Oh, that didn't take much damage. Oh, he's 68 health left. 56. Keep casting magic at him. 34. 40. I don't have enough faith to cast any magic. Let's hit him with the sword. Ooh. Admiral eyes constantly dart to his most sexual parts, betraying his lust. Your mind is too adult to focus on. All you can do is try to recover. Recover. Attack 46. Oh, he has not much left. Oh, come on! Hit him! There. Admiral falls to the ground in a beaten bloody heap. You grab 15 games and 90 XP from your victory. The instant draft of the speed pound. You place the instant draft in your second pound. 90 XP! That's not bad. Especially not when I'm just in level 5. Alright, let's explore the desert one. Oh, I found a wizard staff. Well, let's see what all of it said. While exploring the desert, you see a plume of smoke rising in the distance. You change direction and approach the soaked cloud carefully. It takes a few moments, but after cresting your fortune, you locate the source. You lie low so not to be seen and crawl closer to the better look. A library is burning up, sending flames dozen feet into the air. It doesn't look like any of the books will survive, and most of the structure has already been consumed by hungry flame. The source of the inferno is curled up next to it. It's a naga. She's tall for naga, at least 7 feet if she stands up full height. Her purplish blue skin looks quite exotic, and she wears a flower in the hair. The naga is holding a stick with a potato on the end. What? Trying to roast the spoon of the library fire. It doesn't seem to be going well, and the potatoes quickly lights up from the intense heat. So Anaga sets fire to a library to try to cook a potato. Okay, that seems strange. The snake woman tosses the burned potato away and cries, "Horror, horror!" H-O-R-A. That's actually a Swedish word. I don't know if it comes from a Swedish person, but I'm not gonna say what it means. Pretty much because it's not nice to say in It's rarely it exists in the times of days. She suddenly turns and looks directly at you. Her gaze is piercing the intent, but she vanishes before you can react. The only reminder she was in this burned potato in the sand. Your curiosity overcomes your caution, and you approach the fiery inferno. There isn't even a trail in the sand, and the library is going to be unslowly wrecked in a short order. Perhaps the only item worth considering is the stick with the burning potato. It's quite oddly shaped. And where you reach down to touch it, you can feel a instant tingle. Perhaps this was kind of wizard staff. You place the wizard on the third punch. Let's see what it does. Then I have attack 3. My beautiful sword has 17. This staff is made of very old wood and some tingle in the gaze of touch. The odd singas shape is your wood is worn smooth from lots of use. It probably belongs to a wizard at some point and would aid magic use. Actually, I'm planning to do this clip a little longer than usual because apparently this game is at least as big as Skyrim. Not as big as area, but as there are a lot of read. Let's see, I just need to check my... Let's see, spell cost is 64% and my spell magic effect is 150. Let's see, let's equip the wizard staff and see if that changes. Oh, the spell effect multiplier increased by 40%, but that's not enough for me to use it. Wonder what would get at the pawn shop for that. Oh, 175 gems! Well, I sell it. Oh, I need 5 more gems. Let's explore a little bit. Yeah, for 5 gems. Tell Andre. Let's send the instant draft. Buy the katana. Yes, I want it. And let's read some tower. Study. Spell. I'm gonna learn a new spell. Might. It's really not much to think. It's just if I would read what it's saying, it's just say. Right, you find yourself thinking about applying things, reading about your own abilities, figure it out how better that you magic yourself. In short, you experience the content known as learning and feel smarter for it. You blink in surprise as soon as you acknowledge as a new spell, might. Well, let's see. Equip the katana. Sure, it should give me a 10 attack, but this sword, the beautiful sword, its attack varies. But I think we're at least gonna try to use the katana. Sleep. Nothing special happens, just sleeping normally for once. Let's see if we can find something in the town room. Curious about how Maria is holding up, you head back to the ruined village. This time you don't bother trying to hide yourself presence, hoping you attract Amelia's attention quicker. After all, she did say that the place is basically empty, anyone expect her, and you can otherwise handle a messy imp or a goblin. It doesn't take long for Amelia to materialize out of the ruins. Her blowpipe and dagger are both thrust in her belt, and she's still wearing the same tattered clothes as before. She crosses her arms and taps her fingers. So, why are you here? What do you want? She asks. Well, she sounds a little cocky. You tell Emil that you came to because you wanted to talk with her, and you have no desire to approach her sexually on this encounter. You want to talk? No sex? She asked clearly. It's hard to believing it. I haven't had the chance to talk to anyone in years. It's been so long, she murmurs herself, and you think you see the start of tear glinting her eyes. Well, what do you want to talk about? She asks, seeming happily at her. Oh, this is a lot to read. Oh, I accidentally scrolled down. Ow, come on. The two of you swap tales about return and bench, and from the topic drifts out to the strange bee-like woman you've seen in the forest. Giant bees. There's a strong race, Amelia says. They are not really corrupt, but but at the same time they act kind of like demons. You ask her to explain how that works. Well, the giant beast is probably seen. The official name of them is fertility castes, but folks tend to just call them handmaidens. Amelia explained. At your confused look, she continues. Giant beasts hatch from each egg, hundreds of reclaimed looking like bees, and fertiles are involved in that. For some reason, the eggs need to come inside a living being to hatch in the first place. Your expression probably tells the story, because Amin gave a slightly before adding, it's not dangerous or anything like that. The queen and the handmaidens both have this CXXX like appendage on their abdomens. The queen uses this to lay her eggs into the handmaidens, filling up their abdomens, while the handmaiden they lay mixture of eggs and honey into a person gut. That doesn't sound fun. Via the seriously? That cannot be good. AXXX. Seriously, not a word that I read before. The eggs kind of, well, just they sit there, and then when they're ready to hatch, they just come out. Huh. Oh, she's sure clearly not able to explain any better than that. You ask how you can avoid such a fate. Well, they mainly use their hypnotic triggering from the ring, but if you got a strong, sharp mind, you can shake it off. They aren't the kind to get violent. They will ask you to accept their eggs if you resist the hypnosis, but they won't try to beat you into submission. So they can lay their eggs. I would recommend fighting. I wouldn't recommend fighting. They're quite quick and pretty tough, thanks to the armor, and they've got this nasty venom that saps your strength and arouses you at the same time. You thank her for the advice, then curious ask how she knows so much about the creatures. Emil looks flustered. Well, they have been willing to trade honey in the past if you confront them peacefully, and alright, I admit it. When times have been really lean, I've been willing to host some giant bee eggs in exchange for honey. You, you smile and thank her for sharing, noting that she didn't need to tell you such personal information and politely excuse yourself. But I'm looking for another. I know you can find things in the ruins. Yeah, the same conversation again. Same conversation again, I think? No? No, there's another conversation now. You think about it for a moment, wondering if you ask her, then you shrug your shoulders and tell her that you'd like to know a little more about her, then you get to know her better. Amelia looks surprised but pleased. I'm really interested in hearing about me. Well, okay, what do you want to know? You point out that she told you why she wants to father children with her, but she hasn't told you what she will want to giving birth. You actually care what happens to them afterward, she asks, seemingly having time to believing that. You insist that yes, you don't want to know. Alright, many of the races that are corrupt are able to breed very quickly. Their pregnancies don't take long, and their offspring grow full size in a span that can take from minutes to hours. She begins to explain. My own race is quite fertile. If we don't take a certain herbal medicine, we can have up to 2,000 children in a single pregnancy. My plan is to take advantage of both those facts. Now that I have a pure human like you father them for me, you ask how that it's supposed to work, given that she is very obviously not corrupt. He, oh, What? Oh, read wrong there. You may have seen goblins while you were exploring. Well, they are corrupted creatures, but their corrupt stems from chemicals in their blood. I managed to persuade a goblin to get me some samples of distillers of the specific chemical. Once I am certain I am pregnant, and take a while and cause my friends to advance really quickly and for the children to grow to full maturity in 1 or 2 weeks, like a goblin does. Feeling a little enlightened, you then ask her just why she needs to have many children and so fast. You remember that she wants her race to reborn outside demonic slavery, but what will she do when the judges she has enough? Well, I don't exactly have a specific number of kids I want to deliver. She explained the goblins only gave me 5 vials of the chemical. 5 pregnancies are all I get. Once I use them and then they're all grown, big and strong, we can leave this area and find ourselves somewhere else to found a new village. In a place where the demons can't get us, we can work to expanding our numbers, bring my people back to life as something other than just fuck ties. Well, I don't think I have to be careful with saying that one. You thank her for the explanation. Oh right, I forgot that. I lost a fight against the sandwich and I got breasts, apparently. The stands an hour past, your nipples is swollen and blood needed to be made. Your bottled milk output dropped down to what we consider normal for seriously for a pregnant woman. I don't know how long this gonna last. I don't know if there's any way to change that. I'm not really sure. But it's still one thing I want to find in the town ruins. Leave. Town ruins. Leave. Town ruins. Leave! Your body no longer produces any meals. Hell, that worked well. Curious about the man holding up, you head back to the ruined village. It doesn't take long for a meal to materialize in the ruins. She smiles softly upon seeing you. You're always good to see somebody else who hasn't given in to the corruption. Did you have something on your mind? Actually, I don't want to do that right now. I'd search. Oh yeah, I found one. Let's see. Yeah, weapon rack. That would be good. Alright, I actually found it before. I needed it. Because I don't like to throw out the sword. Just in case. I don't know in case what, but probably can find out something. Mountain. High mountain exploration location unlocked. Yay! I can explore high mountains now. I don't know why that's necessary. Let's explore the mountain. Apparently I'm gonna fight a minotaur. As you pass through shadow cleansing mountains, you hear a sound of a cow coming out from it. Wait, what? Wondering how a cow got up here, but mindful of this land dangerous, you cautiously sneak closer and peer around the corner. What you see is not a cow, but 2 large human-shaped creatures with prominent what? Features, tails, horns, muscles, and hooves instead of feet. They are still bept, however, and their genders are obviously due to stark nudity. One has a massive other what? Breasts and wide hips. The others are yanting horse-like, doing an heavy set of. Well, BXXX. More appropriate to a breeding stud than a person. You stumble upon a cowgirl and a minotaur. A part of your mind registers bits of clothing tossed aside and heady scent of impeding SXX in the air. But your attention reveals the actions of the pair. The cowgirl turns and places her hands on the low ledge, causing her to bend over. The ample AXX facing the Minotaur closest distance, and between them a single step. She bellows, almost moaning, as the as she used to say mooning. Alright, that was a bad joke, but still. As the Minotaur grabs her cushion AXX cheeks with both massive hands, her tail raises, exposed glistering wet SXXXXX. Its lips already parted with fire. She moves. What? Moves? There, I actually used a bad joke. Again, as his rapidly hoarding BXXX CXXX brush her CXXXXX. You can't tear your eyes away as the Persistent himself displaying mushroom-like CXXX had electing another moon as they pushes against her narrow lips. This game is so fucked up. With a hurted thrust, the Minotaur plunged into the cowgirl eager FXXX hole, burying himself past 2 of his oversized CXXX 3 ridges rings. Wait, he has rings on that thing? Well, that's strange. Yeah, it's strange. She screams in half pain, half ecstasy, and pushes back hungrily for his full length. Alright, people in this world are crazy. Pulling back on slightly and then pushes deeper, driving every inch of his gigantic DXXX into his willing partner will righteous in pleasure impaled exactly as she wanted. The pair quickly settles into a rhythm punctuated with numerous groans and moans of sexual excess. To your almost violence for sure leaving both of them bruised and sore, but the cowgirl's loading tongue and expression overwhelming desire tells otherwise. She is enjoying every thrust as well as the strokes and groups and seemingly painful squeeze. The Minotaur's powerful hands deliver her jiggly AXX and pondering tits. She is a little better, his eyes glazed over the lost and continues banging FXXX hole. He found all the mulleting its owner. I don't want to read more. It was more to read, but I won't read more. I can't read more there. It's too much. Mountain from him. Hit him. Hit him. Actually, I seem to do a little more damage with the sword. Well, that's good. While wandering through, you come across a cruelly illustrated sight. It depicts an imp, obviously discomfort, covered in white little wound. It looks as if one of them is crawling into the imp's PXXX. How do you feel about that? How would you feel that? You would not feel aroused? And sure, I wouldn't care, but I feel grossed out. You shudder at the revulsion in a figure's sight and result in some perverted fantasy. Disgusting! And sure, you get goosebumps from just thinking about it, so I'm gonna stop thinking about it. While exploring, you feel clearly constant doorway. From the inside you can hear the sound of blades being sharpened. Do you enter the doorway? Yes, why not? Oh, there wasn't very much here. You step inside the cave and greatly by sight did not expect. The cave floor is covered with smooth wood paneling. The walls are nearly entirely covered with hanging mirrors. A few stalactites have hooks drilled into them, with which hang hundreds of scissors, shears, razors, combos, and hairstyle implement. It reminds you of the haircutter shop in the hometown. There are a few chairs along the wall, and the goblins with latex dresses and gloves looking bored at the sight of you perk up claymore around the examiner until one with gravity-defying chest pushes them apart and greets you. I apologize for my daughter, she says as presses up against you. There are a bunch of brainless hussies for the most part. My name is Lynette, and welcome to my salon. You want your haircut or lengthen? We got you covered, and we don't ask much, just a shot of CXX. Wait, what? I even do you the favor of letting you be XXX in my mouth. What? I've already got a bun in the oven, so what do you say? Want a sponge? And a haircut? Or would you rather just get a payment from one of our glory holes? Seriously? In the back of your kinky boy? Alright, this story is crazy. Everything in that world seems to be sex-traced things. In very back of the salon you can see a boarded up wall with holes cut in it, some of which are currently plugged with various monstrous PXXX. Do you let the goblin blow you, or do you go suck your payment from one of them? I think I would let her, but I think I just leave and end this story too. Let's just save here. Stop recording right here. Well, that story is crazy. I have no fucking idea how I will ever be able to finish that game before I go to see as a character. But actually, I checked into that. It actually seems that the creator had 2 other games. Actually, not the creator. They are the same that support them and put out the games on the internet. There are 2 other games, apparently. Not follow-ups or games that was before this, but I checked them out, tried them out, and they are not as good as this. So we're gonna continue with Corruption of Champions. So, but when I tried out the games, they were really boring. They had nothing fun. You couldn't even understand the story. But at least that was all I have for this time then, so hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. BroFive!